Pre-Go Studio Live 2020 GSL Season 3 Codex Last Stand.
2020 is the year of Zoun. You are here to see the first major Zoun moment. It's all going to be uphill for Zoun from here.
Yeah.
He has won in a group that I think nobody ever expected him to advance out of. He won with play that nobody was seeing up until now.
He played great. I'm very excited about him going forward. Now, that being said, we have a pretty killer group still.
Yeah.
It's kind of wild. One of these players is not getting out.
That is for sure. I think soO is supposed to take this, but maybe soO's PVZ is lacking. Maybe it wasn't just Zoun's great play. Maybe soO's struggling. I don't know. Hurricane looks good. Maybe not good enough to advance, but that's why we're here today, to make him fight it out and know for sure. Ice and Chrome will be the first map, then Everdream, and if we get a Game 3, Eternal Empire. And the game's loaded up now. This is Game 1, Hurricane versus soO.
영광의 전투가 펼쳐진다. GSL을 위하여. 전투 지원이 들어왔다. 함께일 때 우린 더욱 강하다. 팀 LP 허리케인 남기우. 아프리카 베이스 수 어윤수.
All right, I guess we just wait and see what Hurricane's got up his sleeve here.
Yeah, I mean, Hurricane did look good today. And I'll tell you what, I feel like we didn't get to really see what soO had to offer. It's pretty surprising to see Zerg get taken down twice in a row by a push. We don't have that happen that often anymore.
No, not too much.
ZVT is in some ways similar to ZVP in theme. Zerg's trying to outgrow, and unless there's some kind of special timing they're doing. But yeah, let's see what he's got. I don't imagine that Hurricane will be emulating Zoun's play here.
No. Well, if he is, then there's some new meta on the ladder that I haven't heard about.
Yeah, everything changed since Wednesday.
Okay, so we'll wait till this Cybernetic score finishes up, as is always the case for Protoss. Honestly, I like Hurricane. He's good.
Yeah.
But I kind of want him to lose because I want to see soO versus Innovation one more time before soO goes to the military,
Yeah, okay. A quick reminder here for everybody. soO's military service date is right after the finals of GSL.
He will not be in Super Tournament this year.
Yeah, so this is this could be the last time you see soO for years.
Yeah. I don't know if he has any online stuff he's planning on playing in the next month.
But a tournament of this scope.
Yeah. GSL.
So,
this is it for him.
Does soO stream? I don't actually.
I think everyone streams a little. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess I'm not following him if he does. I was going to say.
I haven't seen him
show
stream
him
in
some
a long
love
time.
On Twitch or Afrika if he's streaming on there. I'm actually just not sure if he is.
Yeah. Well, he would be streaming on Afrika, I would say, because he's on the Afrika team.
That would make sense. But who knows? Maybe he wins here today. But I mean, this is a tough one. I think it's fair to say Innovation a little bit better than soO right now.
Yeah, I think,
on paper at least.
You're probably right.
As far as gameplay goes, Innovation definitely looking better. But it's all going to come down to that best of 3. But first, soO has to beat Hurricane here. I don't want to get ahead of myself. But yeah, this is kind of one of these bittersweet moments where he has to do his military service. All young Korean men who are able-bodied have to do. If it's not military service, it's some sort of community service. I think you can work in the subway system out here.
Oh, you can do all sorts of things.
You clean up trash. I believe I don't
Yeah, no,
know this that well.
Some people become police officers.
Okay.
Some people end up working at schools and stuff. Like, there's a huge range of jobs that can be filled. It depends on, like, what you're fit into, basically.
And when we first moved out here, what is it? Was it 2 years and
It's
like
about
3
2
months
years.
or something like that?
Yeah, it's been going down slowly.
And yeah, they've been reducing it, and I believe now it's what is it? 18 months now?
Yeah, it's about 18 months,
so.
but it matters as well what your service is exactly.
Yeah, and I think some would be a little bit longer, some shorter, depending on what the role is.
Yeah, that's right.
JYP has been manning a door somewhere, a gate.
Yeah.
Probably the door between North and South Korea. That's what he said right now.
There's a door.
There's one door, and JYP's in charge of it. No, yeah, there's all different little roles you got to do. And for these pro gamers, and if you guys have watched every GSL, you probably heard us say this, but there are new people that tune into this that don't know this factor in Korea. You got to make a choice on when you want to do it. And when you're serving in the military, you can't make money. Like as in like you can't play GSL and win prize money. And so it kind of sucks for these guys. There's they have to decide when they want to do it. Being a professional gamer out here is recognized as a cultural asset to the country. And so you are allowed, if you're a professional gamer, to defer the military service back. And so there are some pro gamers that continued, you can go all the way back to StarCraft 1 even, of players that deferred it for like 12 years.
Well, I believe what it actually is, like, I think that just recently they have passed some new stuff about if you've done something culturally like really big, some people are going to be able to skip military, I believe.
Oh, you're going to be able to skip entirely?
Yeah, I think they basically, this is something that I think started for like Faker maybe. I could have sworn I read something like that, but I didn't look super into it yet. Just like Air Force Ace, a pro team was made for Boxer, literally because Boxer had to retire for the military service.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can defer if it's, well, hold on, we have the Glaive Adepts actually.
Yeah, we'll touch base on this in a second here. Let's check out how this Glaive Adepts attack comes in here.
Pretty good so far.
Targeting down the first queen, and whoa, I think the latest transfusion that ever worked I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Now Shade's inside the main. Now 6 drones have been killed. This is not the number that you're looking for, though. You need to get a little bit more. 2 more Adepts now over here as the Stasis Ward somehow actually protects some of those drones.
So look at this. He gets a bunch of drones over at the third base. Very, very well done, bringing that count up to 19.
So the total count now is 20. Is that enough? Has that slowed down soO enough where Protoss can capitalize on this? Because you have thrown all your Adepts into their army. You were targeting drones while they were targeting your Adepts. So you've traded army to take out their workers, but there's counterplay that can come from this as well.
Yeah. Well, he has a Void Ray out, so it makes it a little bit harder to do the Roach counterattacks. There is a Hydralisk Den finishing up here for soO. All right, so the Void Ray going to come back and chase down this Overseer, but that is going to allow the Roaches to know where he's at. All right, going to try to get in right away. Oh, man, an Immortal in here, but targeting down the Lings.
This is bad. Losing that Immortal, and he's also locked himself out of his natural. Now, the Void Ray is a great tool to try to help out in this fight, but there's going to be damage here before these Roaches are cleaned up. That's for sure. And I love the splitting here.
Yeah, very good. He really needs to.
Weird.
Looks like maybe a bit of a misclick there.
Yeah, targeting the pylon was not intentional, that's for sure. So 6 probes are killed.
Yeah.
It looks like we're near the end of this attack here, but
not really as bad for Hurricane as I thought it might be there.
Yeah, I thought that was going to be much worse, but I think the Void Ray really did help out there.
Yeah, pretty quick cleanup, but you know what? soO has grown a lot during that. 72 workers right now. He's on 4 bases. He has Hydralisk production coming. Hive is on the way as well.
Yeah, and actually we might have the counterattack from the counterattack here. 2 Archons coming here too. But Hydra's, that's a completely different beast than Roaches. So let's see what kind of engagements they have here. Hydras, when they get high up enough in number, just spray down Protoss units. But if you can get them cornered, it could be a different story. So I did not realize that, to what we were talking about earlier, that there's the possibility to skip the military service now.
Yeah, I think some of that is starting to happen now. And yeah, the thing is, they almost had it there before, like back in the days.
Yeah.
with some Olympic stuff that was going on. But yeah, if going to the military would really interrupt your career, that's how you can put it off. So it's not just pro gamers that can do it, but
yeah,
basically you can easily prove that, like, oh, if I go to the military, like, I don't have potential to earn from this afterwards.
Right, right. Like, let's say you're like learning curling or something for the Olympics, and it's like a very specific amount of time, ice skating or something like that. So yeah, right now we're watching soO fighting for how we're going to remember him in his last major tournament here.
Well, this game, he's looking all right, I think.
I think so.
He's got a lot. His lurkers are going to be popping out, so definitely we don't have the right type of army to deal with lurkers, but you can deal with lurkers tactically as well, right? The 4 Prism flying around, for instance, is a big part of how to fight against lurkers. So he does see that lurker dent, very important. Second Robo is coming out. 4th base going up for Hurricane as well.
Yeah, Hurricane getting into a pretty solid position later on. Zerg is taking a 5th base over near 12 o'clock. And this is actually a pretty good PvZ from both these guys.
Yeah, no, this is pretty back and forth. They're definitely both injuring each other some.
Now, these lurkers are going to be tough to deal with it. So that's a forced cancel, and this might be... Oh, wow, he's going to keep advancing here. Storm zoning that army out here, but... Look, if Zerg keeps Protoss on 3 bases, that's enough.
Yeah, anytime you see a Protoss unable to take that forward, like the 3 bases run out pretty darn quickly.
Yeah.
So it is an issue. Now, more drones are killed, but soO's economy is still pretty good here, and he's just re-droning immediately.
Okay, I'm not sure about pushing in here. Seems like these cannons are pretty well placed to try to take a fight.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was just never going to work.
That was not an ideal location to attack. It's like as defended as any location ever is for Protoss.
Sometimes you have to look at a spot like that and just say, okay, we're just not going to fight here at all.
Yeah. All right, well, unfortunately, his High Templars go up in auto attack. Has to make some Archons out of them to try to keep everything alive, but he has a lot of Immortals here. Starting to punch through some of the Lurkers, but taking a lot of damage as well.
Okay. This is a fight that Hurricane is just winning outright here. I actually was a little bit confused by soO attacking at that angle there.
It was kind of weird.
Usually you want all your lurkers together and firing in a certain line, you know, where the damage is just so high.
Yeah, lurkers are like Broodlords or like Tempests or anything like that. They don't do anything alone, really. They're probably better than both those units alone, but like they're not very good alone, so you definitely need them with a lot of other units to kind of tank damage and keep them alive.
Yeah, I mean, that's a lot of lost assets there from soO. I think he can still win, but again, now Hurricane, it looks like he should be able to control this 4th base and stop the Zerg from denying it. Unless there's something I'm not seeing here. Let's find out. The Lurkers are going to come down here again. There's about as many Immortals as there are Lurkers.
Good storm right there to start. Throws out another very nice storm.
You can see all those Lurker shots all connecting on top of the one Archon. It just exemplifies how much damage is all coming out at once. But this is a type of army where it's hard to kill, but it's also, for the Protoss, it's hard to kill, but it's also hard for the Zerg to actually get in and take out a base. That's why when we saw the 4th base denied so handedly, I thought, okay, maybe soO's going to win this. But now that it's up again and he's lost some of those Lurkers, I think this could be a game that Hurricane can still take. The game now propels further on into late game where Zerg has a 5th, and Zerg is going to be taking a 6th very quickly. Protoss is trying to finish those last few puzzle pieces of tech here by getting Tempest and basically getting an advanced enough type of army where you can maybe come out and take large fights from a distance on the map.
Well, that's really interesting. We haven't seen the Tempest tech as of yet in Korea. Seen it a little bit elsewhere, but look at this. He's backing up this big attack onto his 4th base. Definitely needs to hold this. If you lose this 4th, you can't afford making your regular army and your Tempest. Look at that, a ton of Lurkers burrowed. He's losing all the shields very quickly on this Nexus. He needs to get in there and do something.
Yeah, this flank was the fight that soO needed to have. This was beautifully done.
Dude, he's targeted down so many observers now. There's just, he can't see these Lurkers.
Yeah. Pretty bold, actually. soO's going to try to advance here with these Lurkers, and I think this is a smart move considering, what, there's one observer left over here?
Well, he targeted down so many. It's just, a very nice move overall, right? If you can't see the lurkers, they're going to get the Nexus, and he gets the Nexus, which is really what's important.
And this is a game where if the Zerg just keeps pounding that would-be fourth base, the Protoss runs out of money and the game ends. It's a perfectly legitimate way to play the game.
Protoss has a decent army, but if he had a fourth base mining, he could actually back it up with more units.
You know, one thing about the Tempest is that they can kill lurkers, but not before the lurkers kill your Nexus.
Yeah.
The Zerg does not have to trade efficiently here. You know.
But it is being pretty efficient, to be honest.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be, but it is. And behind this, we have so many more Hydras coming here. There's actually a Spire being made, so we could have this flip in Tech into Mutas, or maybe even Corruptors.
Yeah, it could really be either one.
I'm
the
not
thing
sure
is,
which
if you
one's
kill
better.
the Tempest, the game is over. The game is almost over already because that fourth base just isn't up. So how many patches is Hurricane even mining from? It can't be very many.
The natural is, I think, literally mining out right now.
Yeah.
He does have the third, but the third is not enough. If you just, I think citing the patches is a really good way to put it, Artos, is because the Zerg is just mining from way more. And with what the Zerg has, you can probably keep growing on the map and keep making an army. And here's we go, great harpooning here. And the Viper is just annihilating, I guess in symbiosis with the Hydras, annihilating those Tempests. And it's like, I think soO just macros up and comes back in again.
Yeah, there's not much left here for Hurricane. See, he starts to take an engage, can't quite do it. GG is called. soO gonna take that first game.
Nicely done by soO. Putting up a real fight there against Hurricane. Again, Hurricane looks good. Looks like a Code S player that's just not quite as clean the longer the game goes on. StarCraft 2 is insane with how much you have to start doing when things pick up.
Yeah.
After the third base, you are juggling.
Your attention is just all over the place.
Yeah, and I mean, this is true actually for all RTSs. But it's you know, you can see it here in StarCraft. You kind of have to know what's going to happen before it happens always. And if you're not ready for everything, and by the way, I thought Hurricane had a pretty good start there.
He played a pretty good game, I'd say. Like, I think it was well done, but soO just seemed a bit more robust.
Yeah, for sure. Our game 2 is loaded up. This is Everdream. Let's see if Hurricane can come back or if soO will go on to the final match against Innovation.
GSL을 위하여. Team LP, Hurricane, 남기우. 아프리카 프린스, 수, 어윤수.
Okay, so again, Hurricane, like his play has been like a 7 out of 10. We need to see like a 8 or 9 out of 10 here if he's going to win any games. Like he looks good. There's just moments where he like takes too much damage early on, or like he gets to the late game and he's not fast enough. He's not on top of everything. Like soO was hurting for a little bit in that last game, but soO is so clutch. And I think particularly in mid-game, I know I've said this before, but I think it's true now, is like he's so strong in mid-game. I think the fact that Zoun beat him was because he just stopped the mid-game from actually starting.
Yeah, it's a good point because like even though the early game did well for Hurricane, he had the right type of idea for that early game.
Yeah.
I mean, soO droned up right afterwards, like 72 drones. He attacked with a bunch of roaches. They didn't really do that much, but that's okay because he just went up the tech tree, got into lurkers. And then the entire game just turned into soO diving on the fourth base and preventing that 4-base economy. I mean, if you're going to late game with Protoss, you do need 4 bases.
Right.
Okay. There's 1 base all-ins, there's 2 base timing attacks, there's 3 base timing attacks. There's not 3 base long drawn-out macro games. You dry up. It doesn't happen. If you want to, as Protoss, to play a long macro game, you need that 4th base. And just the fact that soO denied it over and over and there were different tactics too, like targeting down observers several times.
Yeah,
He
that was really
couldn't
good.
see the lurkers. He had an army that I think could have saved the Nexus if he could see it all.
That is a big Achilles heel with Protoss, is if you don't have oracles with your army. If they
I
just
think
get the
oracles are
observers,
much better against
They are better.
lurkers. They're
Yeah,
just much better.
Yeah. Well, no,
Observers are such garbage.
yeah, I mean, this was always the problem in StarCraft 1 and PvZ is like
Hydra
the observers
Lurker, same
just
thing.
it gets exploded.
You know what's kind of funny, actually, is he went Hydra Lurker there and
Yeah.
targeted observers, which we never see in StarCraft 2, really.
Yeah, but
But
in
we see it all the
StarCraft
time
1,
in
that's the
StarCraft 1.
entire game. Yeah.
And just to mention this, within the last few months, soO hit #1 on the StarCraft 1 ladder.
Oh yeah, that's actually something we should be pointing out. He has been
He's very good at StarCraft 1 as well right now. So
he's a beast. In
and
StarCraft
that's
1.
something he will do all the time in StarCraft 1 because every Zerg will do it all the time.
Yeah, that's
So
kind of cool to see. I actually forgot about that. Yeah,
It's kind of
he's
interesting.
been playing both, so he kind of brought that style in here into StarCraft 2.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can see why it works. Like the Observer is, in some ways, the worst unit that there's ever been in the game. Like it's cool because it's a
The Void Ray wants to have a talk with you, Tasteless.
Oh yeah, no, that's right. Of units that must be made in a game, the Observer is like very easy to kill.
Yeah.
It's not fast.
Yeah, it's slow enough that Terrans can kill it without getting frustrated. That's really cool.
Yeah, yeah.
Always enjoy that.
Yeah, it's like, and so a lot of times, even though a Protoss army can be very technical and strong, if there is not an Oracle tech there, so Stargate tech was skipped in some sense, yeah, that's one way to win a fight. And we saw it back there in that game.
Yeah, I think once they get into lurkers, it's probably a good idea to just always make sure you have an Oracle just clicked on your army. It doesn't even have to be in your control group. Like if you have Tempest, just right-click onto the Tempest.
Yeah,
it's so
useful. It's just good to have around. And once you get the first tag on the lurkers, if you're playing right, you should not ever miss the tag at that point in time.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And then you're just fighting the lurkers. You're not trying to combat some largely invisible
an observer while microing your army.
Yeah.
Oh man. And the thing is, people may be like, "Oh, just siege it." Nah, they'll just run 2 steps closer and kill it. Still,
Yeah,
it's like you can't micro it away.
Then it can't run away as fast.
Yeah, it's tough. All right, we have another Glaives build here, but good surround to start here by soO. All right, so nice juggling from Hurricane, though.
Yeah, I think that the Zerg is still winning this fight, though, so this is actually really bad. It would have been better if he actually just completely ran away. That was a miscalculation there by Hurricane, where soO looked at that and said, "Oh, okay."
Well, he keeps the Prism alive. He has an okay amount left over here. More Lings being made by soO.
But if you're Zerg, you'll always trade Lings for this.
Yeah.
That's like what you want.
There's some Roaches now, too. There is a Dark Shrine on the way, as well as an Immortal.
Okay. Oh,
kind of interesting, the timing of the Dark Shrine, isn't it? Because a lot of the time what you're trying to do is to get it out a little bit quicker. Like you would skip the Immortal to make the Dark Shrine and then make the Immortal. Instead here, a bit later, so we'll see if he gets anything done when that finishes.
Okay. This should be a canceled shade. No reason to commit back there. Again, the objective when you're doing a depth play like this is to get the army fractured and split up enough that then you could start executing drones. Behind that, you end up with a powered-up army. You start to increment out Immortals, get Archons. In this case, it's going to be DT tech.
I wonder if he's going to be able to get any real damage done with those DTs.
Yeah, I'm curious about that.
It's very close to done, and the layer's only halfway.
Yeah, it's actually a pretty cool surprise move because right now this looks like your run-of-the-mill Protoss.
Yeah.
Almost out of time, out of place build that doesn't seem to work as much anymore, at least not in the GSL games we cast here. But then to add the DTs into it is some interesting flavor on top of it because that could actually throw the Zerg off entirely.
Yeah, he has 3 DTs in his Prism right now. Is he going to drop in the main? Like, what's he... We haven't seen what he's going to do yet. Okay, now he gets a 4th DT. Okay, I don't know if I like waiting for the 4th.
Yeah, I feel like this is much more time sensitive than it is about having 4 versus 3. I feel like the DTs should be in there a little bit more quickly, but let's see. Now, attention given to these adepts that will be killed off, but in the main, the DTs are here. Not a single one's killed before the Spore is taken out. Is he going to target down the spawning pool? I mean, what is the plan here?
I would love to see him target anything. Well, instead of chase stuff that's running away. Instead, he picks up, he gets out of there. But you know what? 8 drones.
That's good.
Yeah.
I think it
So it's not like the DTs are useless. He can go make a couple Archons, you know?
Yeah, I think he should have set those 3 in there instead of the 4, though. Because I think then he maybe can target down the layer or the spawning pool or something.
Maybe.
But now he's got the Archons. The attack sequence is not done yet. And I think the War Prism is still full on HP, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, he can still do a lot with this. This is all occurring while the Zerg, excuse me, is trying to take a 4th base.
Some decent harassment, kind of cool. You don't normally see Archon harassment this late.
Yeah, but there's a reason for that. I mean, it might be pretty easy for the Zerg to fend this off.
Certainly easier than early on, right?
Guess that.
It's just
that's the one that gets away.
Well, that's why we talk. Yeah. You know, we talk about the timings of various buildings, like how quickly you're doing it, and we're seeing some very different timings today from our Protoss players, where it's like very late oracles from Zoun, and then here it's like kind of a late DT Shrine, late Archon harassment. You see the Archon harassment though, not really doing all that much. I don't think this is going to do anything, Tasteless. I think these units need to go home and. No, right? That's
this
too much
can't work, right? No, this is so small.
Yeah, he's got 1 immortal. 3
feel like
immortals, he beats that. 1, no.
This is also, again, a very open
3.
area.
Huh. Yeah, it is very open. That would be hard to attack because of that. Oops.
Oh, okay.
We need a door!
They need a drawbridge over there at the entrance.
Drawbridge.
Yeah.
We just need a building that only Protoss units can walk through.
Yeah.
I'd cover the whole map in those. That would be so sick.
Oh, look at this 1 DT. Let's see what this can get done. I guess there are spores everywhere, though.
Yeah.
I
But
guess
maybe there's no units.
Oh, there's
Are
nothing
there
yet.
spores everywhere, Tasteless, or
Wow.
are there not?
How embarrassing of me to say there were spores everywhere when this base has no spore. Oh, it has a spore. Tasteless, don't doubt yourself.
Good high-quality DT, though.
Yeah. All right, let's just watch this DT go, man.
I'll watch it all day.
Yeah, this is the... Oh,
This DT is a killer.
get DT blink.
Get DT blink.
Yeah. Now, see, those Archons, when they were Dark Templars, they were friends with that 1 DT. They're pissed.
Yeah.
Their combined emotional damage is what's going to drive
He
them
could
into
have
this
been
attack.
half an Archon.
Yeah. So, Storm is finishing.
Dude, this army that Hurricane has made is really nice.
Yeah, things are starting to add up pretty nicely here for Hurricane.
Lurker Den just finished. The first Lurker's on the way.
So it's going to be a while before he can have enough Lurkers amassed.
Yeah, if he can go hit, like 1 Lurker, well, 7 now are making, but...
Never mind.
A little bit harder to attack.
We thought we were onto something, but no. Well, let's see if Protoss actually wants to take a fight or he's just trying to get in front of this bottleneck. By the way, Zerg opening up the map. This is really showing how confident soO's feeling right now. As time passes, we're going to have Hurricane get to maxing out. And it seems like the army that's fractured off here for soO is going to go for a counterattack on the 3rd. Now, we may end up in a similar position to Game 1, where it's just Lurkers diving on the 4th base and denying it over and over again.
Well, he's actually kind of drawn the army over with that small group of roaches that you mentioned. So he's a bit out of position as soO attacks towards his 4th base.
Yeah.
Looks like he does get back in time to meet it before it hits the Nexus at least. All right, so these roaches get dealt with pretty easily.
Yeah, this is going to be cleaned up, no problem. Good micro there. Nice Zealot attack here. This will deny the 5th. Oh, sorry, that could have been the 6th, actually. There's another base being taken adjacent to the main.
Zealot's going to keep him busy for a little bit, chasing them back. Really great use of those Zealots. Those are very valuable. Look at this. Now he's sending another group to actually attack that 5th base, and its main army coming up between the 3rd and 4th. Oh, God.
Yeah, now this is the fight we want to watch for here, because this is the bulk. This is the real muscle of what Hurricane has.
Yeah, soO, though, does not have a huge chunk of his army here. Hurricane's starting to attack into this 3rd base area, but the Lurkers come up for a bit of a flank, and he's going to back out. But in the meantime, DT's over at the 5th. Hurricane's playing a very nice game.
Okay, this is actually a lot to try to follow here. The DTs are still roaming free. There's not going to be an expansion down near the bottom right for a while now. The fourth for the Protoss is not going to be touched either. It looks like Hurricane's fishing to try to get some kind of position because he needs to basically loop back up to the top and try to poke out that base. You know, one thing about Lurkers is it is hard to engage them when they have the setup.
Oh, yeah.
It's you can't just muscle your way through.
Yeah, you can't muscle. You have to either pick them apart elsewhere because, again, it's a siege unit. It's a unit that needs other units near it. So
Right. Oh,
they are
hold on.
good at splitting.
Oh, I think soO might have made a mistake here. He's left this base completely open. It looks like Hurricane kind of faked him out with his movement, and now there's just nothing defending here. But at the same time, this counterattack is a real threat here for Hurricane.
Yeah, soO coming in with this counter towards that natural right now.
So what does Hurricane want to do? He's going to keep trying to press the issue. He's going to take a fight. We're in this kind of weird base tradey scenario.
Oh my God. And we actually have DTs just kind of walking around like they own
Oh
the
my
place.
gosh. Okay, so I'm sorry, there was a recall or was there not?
No.
I thought I saw the animation. I must be confused. Excuse me. So that goes down now. Hurricane, is he going to win this base trade? I'm not actually clear on this.
Well, his fourth base is actually still up. His third base is still up as well.
He still
So
has
this
5
went better
immortals.
for Hurricane so far, but it's not over
But
quite
here's
yet.
the thing, he can actually snipe that one observer. There's a second observer coming here. It looks like he's not, actually there's 4 observers
Yeah,
out
look at this.
now. I'm sorry,
Yeah,
there's
now
way more
DTs
than
as well. Just
I
gonna,
thought.
All right, DT's fighting when they're detected against Lurker Hydra. Didn't work out so well.
Oh my God, the catches though on these immortals is huge. That's it, soO takes it at the very end. Crazy game. soO versus Innovation is how we close out today.
And Hurricane, unfortunately, going to get last place in this group, unable to move into the round of 16.
That was quite the series.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was some nice
When,
games.
when you kill those
Some nice
immortals,
games.
there's nothing that can take on the Lurkers.
Yeah.
The Lurkers are just too strong.
Well, you got to be in a good place before soO gets up to all this stuff, right? When there's
Yeah.
Vipers and Lurkers out, I mean, they're going to pick apart these types of armies.
Yeah, for sure. This is really sizing up to be, I think, maybe our best day so far in the round of 24.
Yeah,
There's been a lot of
you're
fun
right.
games.
I think you're
yeah.
right, actually.
And I'm
enjoying
happy with whoever moves on next, but I'm also sad. Innovation
don't
and
be
soO.
sad.
I'm sad.
All things change, Tasteless.
I don't like it when bad things happen. Up next, guys, Innovation soO. Do not go away.